For most of the year, an apricot tree is, well, it's pretty easy to just walk right by it, right? It's just bare branches, rough bark. But then, for just a few fleeting weeks, something totally magical happens. And that's the story we're diving into today: nature's perfect and incredibly fragile sense of timing. I mean, seriously, one day it's just a tree. And then, what feels like the very next morning, bam, it's this glowing cloud of yellow. It's this absolutely stunning transformation from just kind of sitting there dormant to a full, vibrant bloom. And it's one of the very first signs that winter is finally losing its grip. So the big question is, how on earth does it happen so fast?
Well, the secret to this sudden explosion of life, it doesn't actually start in the spring. Nope, it all begins months earlier, hidden away during the coldest, quietest part of the year. The whole time we think it's sleeping, the tree is secretly preparing, just waiting for its cue.
This whole preparation phase has a name. It's called dormancy. And yeah, on the outside, the tree looks pretty lifeless. But secretly, it's a total powerhouse. Inside, it's busy storing up all the energy from last season, locking sugars and nutrients right into its wood. So, you see, it's not just sleeping. It's more like a very, very productive nap.
And the awakening, it follows this incredibly precise sequence. It's like a secret code. First, after it's stored all that energy, the tree needs a certain number of cold hours. Think of it like hitting a reset button. This chilling period basically restarts its internal clock. And then comes the trigger, the first real warmth of spring. That's the signal the buds have been waiting for, and poof, the growth begins.
Okay, so once that internal signal goes off, it triggers the beautiful physical transformation that we can all see. It's what we're here for, the great unfurling.
But it doesn't happen all at once. You have to look really closely. At first, you'll just see these tiny buds getting a little bit fuller. And then it's almost like they can't hold it in any longer. The protective scales that cover the buds start to separate, and from inside, those delicate little petals finally emerge. But here's the thing. This incredible beauty, it's not just for show. Not at all. Every single one of these blossoms is a tiny, perfect masterpiece of natural engineering. And the design is just brilliantly simple. You've got the pistil right there in the center, and it's surrounded by stamens that hold all the pollen. And those gorgeous petals, again, not just for looks. They are basically bright, colorful landing pads designed to attract the most important partners in this whole process, the pollinators. It really comes down to this. Every single part of this flower has one vital mission, and that's to make sure the next generation happens. It's pure function, just disguised as absolutely breathtaking beauty. And this is where that crucial partnership comes into play. You've got insects like bees buzzing from one flower to the next, and they have no idea, but they're acting as these tiny couriers carrying pollen and making fertilization happen. It's amazing. Without this simple, elegant little dance, there would be no apricots. Period. But here's where it gets risky. Blooming this early, it's a total high-risk, high-reward strategy. By trying to get a head start on the season, the tree is basically making a massive gamble every single year.
So what's the risk? What's the gamble? Why is this beautiful moment also so incredibly fragile?
The answer is just one thing: a single, unexpected, late frost. That's it. These delicate blossoms are so vulnerable to the cold. It only takes one freezing night after they've opened to damage them, and just like that, the entire harvest is threatened before it's even begun. And that window of danger, it's incredibly short. The whole spectacle, the whole show, might only last for a week, maybe two. And that fleeting nature is part of what makes it so captivating, right? You really have to appreciate it while it's here, because it will be gone in a flash. Now, when the petals start to fall, a lot of us think, oh, the show's over. But that's a total misunderstanding. Those falling petals, they're not the end. They're actually the sign that the real work is just getting started. There's this really poetic description that captures the moment beautifully. It says that once the bees have done their job, the petals have served their purpose. So they just drift to the ground like soft yellow snow, making way for what comes next. And so the journey from flower to fruit officially begins. Right after the petals fall, this tiny little green swelling appears right where the flower used to be. I mean, at first it's almost invisible, but over the next few weeks, fueled by a lot of sunlight, that little nub starts to develop into the sweet, golden apricot that we all know and love. So here's the big takeaway. The next time you see an apricot tree in full bloom, I want you to remember this. You're not just looking at pretty flowers. You're witnessing the very first, most delicate chapter in the life of a fruit. It's the promise of the harvest to come.
Ultimately, the apricot blossom is just this stunning reminder of nature's perfect, fragile balance. It shows us how months of quiet, hidden preparation can lead to such a brief but absolutely extraordinary moment of beauty. And it kind of leaves you with a question, doesn't it? What other secret chapters are unfolding all around us in the natural world, just waiting for us to stop and notice?